Heavy snowfall, sometimes interspersed with freezing rain, continues to move north into southeastern part of Chamberlain. This week's storm should be one of the historical record in several communities of South Dakota and southwestern Minnesota. The total snowfall recorded at noon includes 20 inches and 16 inches in Humboldt and over 20 inches in Armour. As 4 p.m. the Armour was 26.5 inches thick according to the meteorologist. The last time Peakstown received this amount 17 inches of snow. Meteorolo said at noon this afternoon then 19 inches fell in Peakstown. Humboldt reported 16 inches by noon today. At the gas station, she said there were customers who needed fuel to run their snowplows and customers who were picking up the other essentials. By noon, over 20 inches of snow had been recorded in Sioux Falls. Due to heavy snowfall, Sioux Falls public schools will be closed on Wednesday and giving plows only time to reach residential area. Classes were also cancelled on Tuesday as 1:13 p.m. Tuesday, Sioux Falls Police were asking people to travel only if absolutely necessary. On social media, the police reported that cars, truck and its serve are still stuck on the street in the city. They are asking people to stay put until the streets are powered so you don't get pushed out and wait on the tow track. According to the South Dakota Department of Transportation, Interstate 19, both eastbound and westbound, has been closed from Chamberlain to Sioux Falls. I-29 was also closed both southbound and northbound from the I-19 and 29 interchange at Sioux Falls to Brookings. The City of Sioux Falls also discourages city travel. Sioux Falls Police tweeted, "Please avoid the travel if possible." There were several stranded cars throughout the city and ran rescue. If you are stuck, there is a good chance that the truck will not be available for the long time to get you out. A several winter storm is raging across the north-central United States, bringing heavy snowfall and black ice. This storm, the part of larger system that brings several weather, is southern of plain. More than 6 inches of snow has already piled up in South Dakota and Nebraska. Due to this weather maker, this heavy snowfall and winter mixed lanes making it difficult to travel in the upper Midwest Tuesday morning.
I've been pushing snow for an hour and 15 minutes, and it gives you an idea how
Look here and weather radar. Not to be outdone, the thunderous snowfall hit the southeast Dakota this morning due to the unstable environment. Winter storm warning, winter weather advisories and ice storms warning are still in place for Nebraska, southeastern South Dakota, southwestern Iowa, southern Minnesota and most of Wisconsin and Michigan Upper Peninsula. Gusty winds of up to 14 hours will hold an additional 7 inches of snow this evening in the north-central U.S. including southeastern South Dakota and Nebraska. Wind gusts will worsen visibility on the roadway as snow will far along with it. Take your time or stay home if you can. The upper Midwest will continue to fall in the winter road through the wind up to 11 more inches of snow and ice. As men return to work and school this week, be sure to give yourself some extra time to travel. Huge snow drift prevented drivers from seeing dozens of semi-trailers driver and staff forced to take shelter for the coffee up gas stop for several days until their trucks were found. While the sinking in Colorado has just touched southern Manitoba, it is heavy in major parts south of the border and travels should think twice before heading south. At least 9 inches of wet snow has fallen ground faults south North Dakota so far, and there is no sign that is easing. A winter storm warning in the effort for most of North Dakota in minor areas along with the heavy snowfall, freezing rain fell. This has resulted in North Dakota Department of Transportation issue non-recommended driving advisory for most major highways throughout the state. I-94 was also also closed from the Minnesota border west to Wisconsin. The storm front have brought an ice mixture to much of the southern Minnesota and have snowfall from the two cities. To much of the southwest and the central Minnesota part of the South Dakota near Sioux Falls have already received nearly 2 feet of snow. Significant ice accumulations are reported in the part of the southern Minnesota.
You don't need to go to 7-Eleven. Put the fucking macaroni in your pantry.
We will start the melting process and continue until the weekend. Early next week we will be adding our next storm system. The storm should bring more accumulated snowfall across the region at much colder temperatures. The city of Sioux Falls announced a snowfall on a Tuesday night, and Sioux Falls School District announced a 2-hour late state in places in Friday. Meanwhile, clearing on the emergency snow road began on Tuesday evening and will continue until the roads are cleared. All the vehicles parked on emergency snow worked in some jack to release an evacuation. The greatest amount of snow will be in the South Dakota, northern Iowa, and southern Minnesota. Overall, we could see 2 to 4 inches of snow over most of the region. In some part of the northwest Iowa, we could see 4 to 6 inches of fresh snow. Likely the wind should be too much of a problem, so we don't have to deal with the too much snowfall. At around 10 a.m., it was reported that the storm was moving more slowly than overnight than originally thought. Intermittent and freezing rain is still expected in the afternoon, turning to snow overnight. Readings are still around 3 inches of Sioux Falls, although recent model trends have been slightly regional.